Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Avataro Sentai Donbrothers Change Heroes 06 Dragoku Alter. So, here we finally are with the alter form of Dragoku, which has, again, nice pieces of art on the side, and obviously we would do a good job at actually changing out the background to match Dragoku. And there's an actual picture of the form. And then here they actually changed this out. And then again, just the art does a better job at, we at least get to see this in full because obviously it's faded out. And then basically just tells you basically the same stuff that the Don Moltar Alter box tells you to do. And it still says Donbrothers, obviously. So here we have Dragoku Alter assembled out of box and such. And I'm trying to stand. Just like obviously Don Moltaro Alter, he does not come with his alter gear because that's in the Avataro gear sets. His only accessory is the Ryukono Geki, though I don't get why they only molded this side, because the prominent side is this side. Anyways, so we'll just do comparisons right away. So here's Don Moltaro Alter. So this one's like half the size, like at least a quarter of the size, because the Ryukono Geki is the size of the altar itself. So he's pretty long, definitely. And then here is Don Dragoku himself. So the Yudo, obviously. Obviously, the thing with this one too was just the fact that it's two contrasting colors, which is pretty neat. What happened to this sticker? But anyways, yeah. So Don Dragoku is a pretty lengthy figure. Honestly, to its own detriment, but like, other than that, I do think the design is pretty neat overall. Just because it's just a very long dragon. Because like it's also just because we barely have any green representation within 6 members. So like I just really like the fact they made him a completely different color as opposed to like his original color scheme and such. Obviously this part is new because this is for the alter gears, so I forgot to literally pull that off. But obviously you can use the alter gear and clip it back there like so. It's not technically accurate, but just to at least have it somewhere if you so choose. Yeah, like basically he does have some painted gold, like the toes or the claws, this lower waist piece, and the shades there. Everything else is either molded gold, or like this gold plastic, or I think this red is actually painted too of the face. The face is not necessarily my favorite, just because I definitely do prefer Don Montaro's, and you do have to try to at least keep that straight, like so. But like I don't know, I think it looks kind of weird, but like everything else about it, I think works pretty well and such. So like again, I do feel like his proportions are kind of weird, but like other than that, like because of transformation, he does not have head articulation. Like he can technically only look up and down, but again, that's because of transformations. Again, trying to get this head to like be just about right is kind of bothersome. He can rotate his arm all the way through. He can somewhat move it up. This arm, though, can rotate all the way and swivel and bend. The hand can rotate and bend all you want. He can kick forward and not back because of this piece hindering this piece. And then he can kick to the side. He can bend, he can just bend once, and just like Donbrothers Alter, his foot is a ball joint, so he can move that all he wants. He can, or he does have a waist swivel and such. So yeah, the way the Ryuko no Geki actually clips onto this is by this peg, like so. So you just simply take the hole down there, peg the Ryuko no Geki, and like, you know, I get that, like, because of like specific poses they want you to position it like this, but I don't know, it looks kind of weird. And then, like, I don't know, it's kind of weird trying to get him to hold it just because of the nature of the hands. And because of the fact there's no head articulation, just kind of like Donbrothers Alter, you kind of have to position him like something like that, just so that he doesn't fall apart and such. And I forgot to mention this, the Ryuko no Geki has this weird feature of being able to split apart. I don't know why, because you can't, this hole is too big. So I don't know what, like, were they going to add the axe mode? Because you don't have there's no Torval altar. So what was the point of having this split? And also, just to bring this up because of this handle right here, you can give this to Don Momotaro, and he just holds it a lot better. Because I kind of prefer this over just the weird peg. But I mean, like, you can have him like dual wheel. So that's funny, but yeah, I don't know, it's just weird. Why did they give the option for Don Momotaro to hold it if they're not going to give the option of him to hold the Zangwa sword? But we'll keep this off because we have to move on to his transformation gimmick. So obviously, he starts just like Don Momotaro. He does not start out like this. He actually does have an additional mode. So you simply fold the head up like so, and then close the mouth. And then you want to make sure the arms are rotated like so. And then you want to rotate the hands like that. Or like bend the hands like so. Or the arms and legs. The arms and hands like so. And then this part is complicated. So like you want to bend, so you want to turn this section of the legs like so. And like this part is easy and like pretty fun. But then you have to connect the Ryuko no Geki. So like you have to try to slot it in. It doesn't slot in nicely, because you have to slot it in, but at the same time clip the legs together. So you basically kind of have to hope this clips in, and then you clip the legs together like so. And then you gotta straighten the legs out like so. And then And then you get the dragon mode of Donbrothers altar, to which again, like, this, I think, like, from a concept point, this works. Like, this makes sense to make into, like, an altar. But, like, this back half is just atrocious. Like, I don't like how close the legs are together. Just because it doesn't give clearance for these two to, like, split. Because you can't really, like, separate it. Because then, like, this is gonna fall. And I just don't... It's nice that they at least found a way to incorporate the Ryuko no Geki. But, like, it doesn't even bend or anything. So it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of awkward. Within this combination. And, like, again, like, if you try moving it, it's gonna come out eventually. So, like, you just can't really do anything with this. Like, you can probably display it like this, but again, it's just like, it's just really lengthy and such. Like, yeah, you can have, I don't know, you can pretend like Donbrothers rides it, but, like, I mean, I don't know why you would. So, forming it back together, just put it out of its misery, just fold it like such, and then move this up like so. I don't know why it keeps turning. Again, it's at least quick to, like, form it back, but, like, other than that, it's just, you know, it's just kind of awkward. And just like Momotaro, he does come off, he does break apart. Like, you can take off the feet, you can unpeg the legs. Like, I think he's definitely a lot more pieces than Taro as the camera overheats. The hands come off. The arm comes off. Like, just a lot of sections of the arm come off and such. And then you can take that off. You can pull the legs off. It's just, it's nice that, like, there's technically more pieces for you to play around with and do wacky combinations. I did a Twitter thread about, like, random combinations I've done, but and I would have liked to recreate some, but I feel like you get the gist of this, and also because there is a combination with this, so we will show that later. But I mean, like, overall, like, Dragoku Alter, it's really messy. Like, I thought I was gonna like this one more than Don Momotaro Alter, because, like, Don Momotaro Alter's issue is just that he's really loose, and, like, he's just really loose to mess around with, so he would just constantly fall apart and such. And, like, Dragoku has those same issues too, but, like, the issue with him is just, like, I think it's to a point, like, you have so much pieces, you just don't have any use for them. And it's just, like, incorporating him in combinations is just awkward, because, like, what are you supposed to do with, like, sections of legs? Like, what are you supposed to do with 5 sections of legs? Like, and just, like, doing combinations with him are kind of awkward. Like, doing the Jolger Alter combination, you can't actually do properly because of the fact he doesn't he only has the one peg here for this thing. So basically, you can't incorporate the gear, and I typically don't incorporate the gear because it's either that or the tail. So I just emit the gear because I'll just steal this piece from Taro and then just stick the tail here because you kind of need this piece as an extender because normally you can't actually put the tail piece here because of these parts. Like, doing the Tokyuger combination is fine, and the Roost Soldier combination's weird. Some of the combinations you have to take liberties. Like, for example, the Tokyuger one, you can't just turn this and, like, peg it down here. So I typically just remove the leg and just peg it down there and such. But because I definitely for sure the Roost Soldier one is like the easiest one to like translate to this one, but like the other two you have to do your own liberties with it. But like other than that, like I think again from a concept standpoint, I think this one is unique. It's just that this one's just kind of a mess to play with. And it's just unfortunate because there is some like fun things about it, but I don't know. It's also just like the proportions look really weird because again, when you stand him up normally, like stand him up straight, he just doesn't look right. Other than that, like he should be fairly affordable in the aftermarket for like at least $10. But luckily he does have a mini plug counterpart, so that's just a lot more recommendable, especially because they actually did touch up on the Ryukono Geki and some additional paint apps and such, and I'm pretty sure he sticks together a lot better and such. But that'll have to do with this review. This is Ryder, and I'll leave you people with Eruption. That did not sound right.